We are now right in the middle of week 4 of the Destiny 2 Warmind DLC, and E3 is right around the corner. We're already hearing talks of what's to come within year 2 of Destiny, and add that to the recent Anthem announcements, Assassin's Creed, Battlefield 5, Cyberpunk, and the rest of the hypeness. It is going to be a very exciting summer. What's going on, Guardians? Sly here, back at it with another Destiny 2 video for you, and today we're going to be checking out my thoughts on the Year 2 announcement Bungie made a few days ago. Now, there isn't much to see here except for this, and I don't know about you all, but those letters, well, they look a little fishy to me. You see how those angles are off with some of the lettering at the bottom? They look like they could fit together and perhaps, I don't know, show off a symbol or be made into a shape, maybe even a word. No doubt it's probably going to be a clue, or my brain is simply in the wishful thinking mode. Either way, when you remove the lettering altogether, not only does it make a great background, but there's stuff to see in here as well. It has a very kind of reef vibe to it, but the reef, if you remember your lore, is basically a ring of junk that's in orbit around the sun, kind of like the belt of our own solar system. The warships, broken debris, dreadnoughts, outposts, pieces of planets, I mean, they're all floating around in the reef. And you take all of those resources, weld them together, well, you have the home of the Awoken, and its queen, Mara Sov, may she rest in peace. But take a look at this background. This does not look like a broken down ketch or any kind of human or fallen technology salvaged and patched together. These concentric rings remind me of Vex technology. Now, it could very well be that Vex are interested in the Reef and the Awoken because, you know, they probably play into their equation somehow and have created these rings to maybe perhaps seed the solar system. But I'm not entirely sure this is the Reef to begin with, even though everybody is talking about the Reef for the new expansion. Now, the only reason why I'm not dismissing it outright is due to a live stream back when Destiny 1 was still releasing content. Now, I'll try to see if I'd have it saved on one of my older PCs, but within that live stream, which took place after the Taken King, and after we found out the Queen died, the voice actor for Mara Sov was talking about her experience playing the Queen, and I believe she was taking questions from chat. During this time, she explained how the character evolved from what the original story was supposed to be within Destiny 1 to the story it ended up becoming a few months before launch. Apparently, Mara Sov's first character iteration was way more violent. She related her character to be like a space pirate, ruthless and beautiful, always taking charge of every situation, more of a gunslinger than a queen. Of course, we now know her character became the more regal and forgiving version, which apparently is a 180 of the original design, but still of course beautiful. But then one of the developers slipped up and talked about Mara Sov returning to the space pirate version and that they have big plans for her in the future.
How do you incorporate that into your process?
It made us love Kirsten even more, and we had spent 2 or 3 years working on the previous version of the Queen, where she was the pirate that she described, and very powerful, and had the lower, deeper voice, and really got gritty in an amazing way. And so we'd seen that, we knew that you had that in you, and we felt like if we could start at a different spot and get to that eventually, and this is totally spoiling like Destiny 2020 or something, but when we get to that world down the road where that original pirate queen comes out, I think it's gonna be a really powerful moment.
Fantastic. So when you're
Spoilers.
when you're both on the mic,
Once again, this takes place after the Queen supposedly died, so how can they have big plans for her after her part is over? Well, that's because it's of course not over, and the Queen will be returning pretty soon. So this spoils just about everything. Now, unless she was trying to misdirect us, she just confirmed that the Queen was not killed by orcs in the Taken King, and I don't think she was. Right before the ship gets hit with the blast wave from the Dreadnought, you see her close her eyes, something she does right before she uses a lot of her powers. With her faithful guards next to her, that puts a ton of power within that room. So I do believe she, as well as her guards, are still alive. Now, take everything that we just talked about and pair it with this from the latest Warmind DLC.
It's a crashed ship that bears some fallen insignia. Let me check the logs, see if I can figure out where it came from. It belonged to Prince Uldren. What is it doing on Mars? Do you think he knows about Rasputin?
So the ice has only recently started melting within the past few weeks or days when our Guardian reached Mars. So to see a ship crashed here below the ice means that it could have only landed here after the melting, which means that the prince is also alive, and all of this, I believe, will tie into the fall expansion. Not sure which direction we're going to be going, but if the voice actors' mistakes were true, then Marasov and Brobro will once again reunite, and I'm willing to bet Aeris and her 3 eyes will show up as well. So while I'm not 100% sure that this picture here is meant to portray the Reef, all the evidence points to the Reef playing a huge part in the upcoming year of Destiny. So what are your thoughts about all of this, Guardians? I mean, will we finally see a new enemy? I mean, a really new enemy, not, Ice Hive or like Twisted Fallen or, Taken that are like double Taken or something. I mean, like, will those space triangle ships, will the 9 be involved? Marasov, the Reef? I mean, what's going to happen? Will Zerg trade in his bag of exotics for a katana and start going postal? Let me know what you think down in the comments below, because I'm curious as to what all of the theories are out there. Either way, I'm sure we can expect to see some goodies coming out of the Activision section of E3. Fall is an awesome time for Destiny, and some of the best works Bungie has ever created dropped in the fall. Of course, The Taken King, Rise of Iron was great, and to an extent Destiny 2. Even though it of course had its issues, show me another game that I can willingly drop thousands of hours into for $80, the core game plus the season pass. The only other games that have come even remarkably close, Destiny 1 of course, and the Mass Effect series, but that's because of its replayability. MMOs on the PC like Final Fantasy 15, Warcraft, Guild Wars, Elder Scrolls, a lot of people have thousands of hours into those, but since I'm more into the first person, third person views, that narrows down the list considerably. Anthem will hopefully be a part of that list, as well as Division 2, but either way you look at it, I've received more entertainment hours per dollar spent than anything else I can think of, online or IRL. So despite its issues, entertainment is still entertainment. A simple way to joyfully waste some time. It sounds so bleak when I put it like that, doesn't it? Anyways, enough babbling and getting sidetracked, guys. The Year 2 reveal will happen on June 5th, the same day as the new and improved faction rallies come out, and it starts at the usual Bungie time of 10 AM Pacific, which I believe is 1 PM Eastern. Or wait, it's summer, and they have that weird PDT instead of PST. So I'm not sure, maybe it's 1 or 2 PM Eastern. Either way, comes out 10 AM Pacific, so just translate that into your local time zone. Alright, Guardian, but that is really about it. So much stuff is about to drop that our heads are going to spin, so expect tons of videos covering it all. Feel free to check me out on Twitter or Facebook at SlyNation on Twitter and SlyNation Gaming on the Fbook. Take care, Guardians. With Warmind and these past updates fixing the game considerably, I cannot wait to see what the next few updates will do. And then on top of all of it, the new expansion, which I'm sure will come with a huge announcement such as a new class, a new subclass, brand new enemies, brand new world. Something big is definitely coming, and I cannot wait to help you guys break it all down. Later, y'all. Keep it here for everything D2, Anthem, and Division 2, as I will be following and covering these 3 games for the foreseeable future. But until then, this is your dude Sly, and I'll catch you all next time.